Why isn't India as developed as China? The reason for this goes back to many factors, such as the prolonged foreign rule in Indian subcontinent that lead to much instability and loss of wealth. China, on the other hand, didn't lose all of its land to foreigners. Macau was under Portuguese, Hong Kong under British, some areas under the Japanese, etc., which didn't allow much loss of wealth, but China too had many challenges ahead of this. After the civil war in China between 1945 and 1947, the CCP controlled most of the mainland China, and Mao Zedong proclaimed the People's Republic of China in Tiananmen Square in 1949. Tibet was annexed, and the East Turkestan, where there was an insurgency of Kuomintang party, was taken by revolts by the peasants against the landlords. As the Soviet Union didn't get along with China, China developed its own industries and nuclear weapons. China had seen many wars post-independence, such as the Civil War as mentioned, where the ROC retreats to Taiwan, Battle of Kamdo in 1950 against Tibet, Taiwan Strait Crisis of 1954, China-Burma Border Campaign of 1960, Sino-Indian War of 1962, Nathu and Cholar clashes in 1967, Sino-Soviet border clashes in 1969, and Sino-Vietnamese War of 1979. Coming to India by the independence from Britishers, India's wealth was already stolen. There was a huge task needed to be done by various leaders, including Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, in unifying Hindu-majority states with India, which was a strenuous task. States were made based on language and cultural differences, and special administrative regions called Union Territories were established. There had been development in the Army, Navy, Air Force and paramilitary that were decentralized then. India faced multiple wars from all sides, including Kashmir conflict after independence in 1947, followed by Sino-Indian War in 1962 along the northern borders, and war against Pakistan that occupied Bangladesh in 1971, and later the Sri Lankan Civil War. India, though, recovered the loss of wealth within 80 years, leaving behind UK and Japan, while China was already developing by the 1970s. There had been huge reasons for India's failure in gaining faster development. One of them being the multi-party system that only causes instability and loss of belief in the government, making the people careless and dependent on the government for everything. Religious wars, political wars, less focus on infrastructure development, and no industrialization are the key factors responsible for India's slow progress. China is the manufacturing hub of the world. From mobile phones to vehicles, all are manufactured in China. Tourism is another factor where India lags behind. The only good things about India is its army, that is fourth most powerful in the world, as well as the ancient architectures, the food, and the initiatives that usually India takes to maintain world peace, providing the first aid to every country that is in crisis. This benefits India from all sides, while China has more enemies than friends. India only needs to work on its infrastructure, literacy, using the collected tax for development of human resource, and maintaining everything perfectly.